Well, welcome to Life Force Canada and our Monday podcast. I am Karen. I trust everyone is staying warm in this winter wonderland. A very necessary topic this evening. Okay, so how many of you are presently experiencing any of these symptoms that I mentioned in the email? You can just maybe put a thumbs up or the number 7 or a yep or a yes. Being easily fatigued. Oh, irritable, fearful of the future, sleep issues, headaches, a little bit wound up. Yes, chronic fatigue. A few of them. Thank you for your honesty, everyone. It's really important to get real with where we're at and how we're feeling. So important. You're in the right place. So our episode today, I'm going to be talking about anxiety. So I'm going to be going into the symptoms that we experience, the triggers, and I'm going to be talking about, of course, the root causes or the actual number one root of all anxiety. We're going to get into that today. And then I'm going to take you on a guided meditation to heal and transform your inner anxiety self. So you may want to have a notepad, a Kleenex, or a few Kleenexes, and an eye mask. Darn, I was going to bring my eye mask up from downstairs. I wanted to show it to you. It's really great. It's one that I recommend, but we'll be offering the Divine Mind Conversations in 2025. Can you believe it? What is it? 37 days until 2025 already. Yeah, so many people unfortunately are taught to take prescription drugs, which are just a band-aid solution for anxiety. They don't really heal the true cause or the symptoms I just shared. They can mask it for a little bit, but temporarily. Many of the prescription drugs that people take can also cause anxiety as well. If you're taking any prescription drugs, I highly recommend that you write a list down of the ones that you're taking, all of them, doesn't matter what it is. And then you're challenging yourself to give yourself a year. I'm trusting no one here even takes any prescription drugs, but if you do, just give yourself a year to start weaning yourself off, right? During that time, you're going to need to find natural replacements that can really calm the body. I recommend you viewing our past health panel on our Rumble channel, where we've got experts that really offer valuable treatments. 100%. Good, Marianne. Excellent. No prescription drugs. Good for you. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes you have to have them. This is about weaning yourself off. Just say that to yourself. I'm going to wean myself off. I'm going to give myself a year, 2 years, whatever it is. If you have yet to read my book, Living in the Freedom Frequency, I talk about anxiety. And this is where I actually share 80 higher ideas to uplift your life. In order to live what I call above the line, we need to go into our darkness, into our shadow self. We need to experience all of this, not just a little bit, not just a piece, all of our darkness. Okay. That's what the gift is. And anxiety lives below the line. And so if you are experiencing anxiety in your life, it means you've got this, it's like a self inside of you that has two red flags, and it's going, stop what you're doing. Pay attention to me. And that's what the guided meditation today is going to assist you with as well. Yes, Dylan, they do cause a lot of side effects, prescription drugs. A lot of drugs actually cause anxiety. We'll get into that too. So yeah, so when I was saying about living above the line in the freedom frequency, we of course want more positive states, right? Higher states of consciousness, more connection, more joy, more happiness, more peace of mind. You will need to first feel your darkness, as I mentioned, and that's everything that is below the line. So darkness only means that part of you that you have yet to bring into the light of awareness, and yet being the operative word. Okay. Okay. So what is anxiety? Anxiety really resembles fear, right? When you feel threatened. So write down 3 fears that you have right now. I recommend you write them down in your journal. And then when you're done, I want you to type one of them in the chat. Let's get a list going in the chat. Write down 3 fears that you are experiencing. An example, again, as I mentioned, can be the fear of the future, fear of authority, fear of not having enough money. Yes, Grant. Fear of the government. That's huge. The criminal cartel. Yeah, it's really important to be real with your fears, to be in truth, because these fears are linked to limited beliefs. And many of these beliefs are unconscious, and right, which means we're not aware of them. Fear of war. Yes, Yvonne, that's a big one. Thank you. Lisa, fear of my mom. I get it. Laura, fear of no money to live. Thank you. Fear of non-connection. Thank you, Carol. Peter, not being able to contain the light coming onto the planet. Brilliant, Peter. Yes. Because living above the line, as much as we don't want to feel everything below the line, we can have huge resistance to feeling the higher frequencies that are here right now. Because they are very intense. Wealth, for example, is a very big energy. Joy, it's like we can get into panic mode even with high frequency energies. So thank you for that, Peter. Fear of not knowing the truth. Thank you, Chris. Fear of dying alone. Thank you, Dylan. Fear of not being able to live in freedom in Canada. Thank you, Judy. Yes, Ray. Fear of not leaving a legacy to my grandsons and daughters. Thank you. Sabala, fear of war and loss. Yes. The fear of my losing my health. That's a huge one, Deborah. Eyesight is one. Elena, fear of my outstanding and upcoming tax bill. Troy, fear of not improving oneself to be the best version possible. Beautiful, Troy. Thank you. Fear of losing our humanity, Tammy. Thank you. Fear of missing my true gift. Lori, yes. Elena. Fear of not having an impact in the world. Thank you. Yes, Bill. Government overreach. Okay, so let's look at defining anxiety triggers. So let's look at some events, emotions, experiences that may trigger symptoms of anxiety. So we just talked a little bit about medication. And again, if you're on prescription drugs, you might want to look at maybe doing some research on the drugs that you are taking, because that will usually inspire you to look at maybe going to a naturopathic doctor, homeopathic remedies like Dr. Claire and Carol talked about, and Natasha last week, and doing trauma work like Brooke and Matt were talking about as well. So yeah, this is really, really important to look at. Did you know that cough medicine is a huge contributor to increasing anxiety in the body? I think it's because they have these active ingredients in these medications that can cause a lot of side effects, right? Caffeine is another trigger that can cause anxiety. So I know a lot of you have seen me present this before, but it's been a while, so I thought I would do it again. Dandy blend. So it is a lie that we need coffee in the morning to get going. That is a program from the external system. It is a lie. We do not need coffee. You were born with life force energy. Let's breathe in life force energy. Yes. Dandy Blend right here. I only recommend this brand here. It has organic ingredients, and this is 908 grams. I think I paid $60 for this one. It's a big bag. It's lasted me a very, very long time. You can get them in smaller bags too. I got this one at the Light Cellar here in Calgary. But then I just take it out and I put it into one of these little jars and take a scoop out. I make it with honey. I got Doris now. She was having Dandy Blend with no honey before, and now she has it with honey. There's quite a few of my friends now that have it with honey. And yes, it's dairy free. Let me see if I can read the ingredients. Okay, it's got chicory root, dandelion root, and sugar beet, and it's non-GMO sugar beet root. Isn't that amazing? Yes, very good. Take a deep breath, everyone. Negative thinking is another cause of anxiety, huge factor. We all know the power of words and the impact words can have on our body. I want all of you, when you're done here today with the Zoom call, I want you to go to the closest mirror and I want you to look into the mirror. This is one of my exercises in the Together We Rise course that I have in our academy. Is I want you to go to the mirror and I want you to look in the mirror. I want you to just create eye contact with you. And then you're going to say out loud, I love you and your name. Get used to saying positive words about yourself. Positive words about who you are. So this is about you no longer calling yourself a loser, calling yourself any negative word. You're deleting all those words from your vocabulary, because that comes from a limited belief from childhood. It can come from experiences you had as a teenager, but we need to let go of that programming. That's all it is programming. Yes, Susan. False evidence appearing real. Acronym for fear. Well, one of my favorite ones, the acronym for fear, we have the t-shirt in Life Force Canada. FEAR, face everything and rise. Yes. Okay, yeah, words. So when you're upset, frustrated, the words you say to yourself can trigger a massive amount of anxiety in your body. Your body's telling you to stop, right? Remember the red flag? Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're thinking, because you're thinking negative. and your body does not do well with negative thinking. So this is about reframing, refocusing your language so that you can begin to live above the line where you're meant to. Yes, Chris. Yeah, this is my Living in the Freedom Frequency book. You can get it on Amazon. And if you are a private member, you get the PDF for free. Financial concerns, that's a big one. How many of you have financial concerns? Just type 7 in the chat. 7 for financial concerns. Yes. Huge right now. Worries about saving money or having debt, unexpected bills. Money fears are really a big trigger. Taxes. How many of you have tax anxiety? Just write tax or a thumbs up. Tax anxiety is huge in regards to the fear we have around Revenue Canada. So we really need to learn how to use our imagination for us instead of against us. Because we are creating images. The subconscious mind creates images within the mind. And when you are fearful of something outside of yourself, it means you're giving your power away. So just write down, in the past, I gave my power away. Period. I now choose to reclaim my power. Because we're on the path of no longer fearing Revenue Canada. So we need to start making Revenue Canada our friend. I know that sounds silly, but yeah. We need to start making the government our friend. Look at it this way. We can either be living below the line in massive anger and resistance, or we can choose to learn the lessons that the government is giving us to go, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, I've been giving my power away to the government for a really long time. I don't need to do this anymore. I am so much bigger than the government. Whoa, I am a divine creditor. Government's down there. They're just a corpse. They're a dead entity. I'm a living man or living woman. Claiming sovereignty, my friend. Claiming sovereignty. Social anxiety. Some people have anxiety when they're in a room full of strangers. Some people didn't come to the Sovereign Living Conference because they have social anxiety, being around a lot of people. They can be empaths, right? They take on the energy of others. And that's something that we need to really heal, because you are the power, okay? Absolutely. Conflict in relationships, arguments. A lot of people avoid having uncomfortable conversations in their relationships. And that avoidance, it's the avoidance in that relationship that's causing the anxiety. And if conflict particularly triggers you, it's really going to be important to learn conflict resolution strategies. Consider really looking at who you are and what self inside of you. In my book, I talk about the many selves that take over your consciousness. So you need to take control, put your soul back in the driver's seat instead of the ego, because the ego wants you to be afraid of everything. It wants you to stay where you've always been. It does not want you to grow. It does not want you to step into the highest version of who you are. And so we're going to be talking about that in 2025, because in order to create conscious communities, we're definitely going to need to learn conflict resolution skills, nonviolent communication strategies as well, so that we're not triggered anymore. We're not cutting others down. I'm not saying you're doing this, but you know, you can have friends that are doing this. And I find that that if someone's gossiping about someone else and they're believing in the gossip, and then all of a sudden they can start making decisions from that gossip, which are not even true. So most conflict is really about, well, I would say 90% of conflict is really about misunderstanding. So when we tune into that, I'm just here and I feel that I've misunderstood some things in my life. And if I've just misunderstood, it means that I can create change. And once you are thinking from that place, your anxiety is going to lessen and lessen and lessen, because then you are the one in control. Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, stressors, skipping meals, etc., drinking alcohol. I quit drinking alcohol 2 years ago now. Best thing I ever did. If you're not getting enough sleep, that can create anxiety too. So it's really looking at your lifestyle habits. It's going to be really, really important. Okay, take another deep breath in of life force energy. Let's look at the root cause of anxiety. So these are all the symptoms I was sharing with you, and then the conscious level of awareness that you have around your anxiety. So let's just go into the root and where it comes from. So how many of you heard of Dr. Gabor Mate? Amazing man. He lives in Canada, in Vancouver. Karen Hanna, I think we need to interview him. He'd be amazing. He states that all mental health disorders originate in childhood as a coping mechanism. He says anxiety is an attachment alarm. So anxiety is linked to something we think we need that is going to be taken from us. So let me repeat that. Anxiety is linked to something we think we need that is going to be taken from us. So it's a fear of loss, right? You're a child, and when your parent is not around, they go out to a party or etc. You can have a babysitter, and that child can now feel anxiety because their parent is not in the home, or their parents are not in the home. My brother used to suffer from that. He used to get so anxious. He's like wondering when is mom and dad going to come home? And I would be letting him know it's okay. Like, just have a pickle. Our babysitter would give us pickles. This anxiety that children can feel is the parent will then respond to the child's needs. It's just like a cat and their kittens. When the kittens are meowing, right? The mother cat will come over and start to feed them. It's the same with a baby. The baby starts crying, the mother will go and feed the baby. It's the same with children, right? When the child is expressing anxiety in some way, and it's not relieved, then that child forms a sense of self, carrying beliefs of rejection and abandonment. Does that make sense on what I just said? Yeah, so when a parent's not around, that child is going to feel some fear. And then that child is going to vocalize that fear in some way. And so if the parent responds, wonderful. If the parent doesn't, that means that those emotions in that moment are going to be compounding over time. Compounding and compounding. And that means that those emotions are not relieved in the moment. And then we end up carrying that baggage. That's the emotional baggage now that we're carrying, because it's a belief system that we've been rejected, we're unloved, we're not valuable, we've been abandoned, etc. So that subconscious template forms your view of the world. And this is the imprinting can cause you then to think that the reason your parents are unhappy is because you're not good enough, or you were not lovable for whatever reason. And so you may then attach yourself to these beliefs unconsciously. This is all happening prior to us being 7 years old. So occasional anxiety, right, is a normal part of life if it's temporary. But a lot of people are carrying this anxiety throughout their life, and that becomes a chronic anxiety, okay? Because we're not taught in school how to handle or process our emotions. Our parents didn't have a manual. Well, most parents didn't. They didn't have the tools necessary to teach us as children, or to learn skills themselves. So right now, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to write this down. Do you believe that you can heal the anxiety? And I'm not saying, do you believe that you can heal your anxiety? I don't want you to own the anxiety, okay? Do you believe that you can heal this anxiety? And the first thought you have will be your truth. Just write that answer down. Very good. Now, anyone that had a no, I just want you to breathe deeply to the resistance of healing. Because on a deeply unconscious level, and this was me many, many years ago, because I was addicted to drugs and I was addicted to alcohol. I did not want to feel anything. On a deep unconscious level, it means that you do not want positive change. And just like Peter mentioned earlier too, is that if we're so used to living below the line, there's a part of us that doesn't want this up here at all. We can yearn for love, but love's a big energy. And if we haven't had, or if we haven't experienced love, we're going to drop ourselves down. Doesn't mean we're going to drop all the way into below the line, but we're not going to give ourselves the full gift of keeping our heart open fully to experience all the bliss that life is here to give you. Okay. Yes, Katika, I highly recommend massages. I get a weekly massage. Massages are a powerful way of expressing self-love. Yes. Okay, so getting back into resistance to healing. So again, on a deeply unconscious level, it means you do not want positive change, because it means it will threaten your identity as either a depressed woman or man, or an angry woman or man, or a victim persona. It means that we're really associated to the person, right? The personality. We haven't unhooked yet. We haven't unhooked to connecting to the highest version of who we are, our divine mind. We haven't unhooked yet to the true living man, the true living woman, the true living essence of divinity within ourselves, the true light. Okay, so this inner resistance to healing will have you ignore and deny and sabotage anything that's positive in your life. And this is a very common phenomena, very common. Okay, now we're going to explore your anxiety self. The great thing is that we can rewire our brain to become less anxious. If you feel anxiety, it's again a desperate cry from your inner child calling for help. And you need to learn to connect with that part of yourself. And that is what I'm going to be facilitating here in a moment. And by the way, I'm going to be having a 2-day workshop in the spring. I'd love for you guys all to come to that because it's going to be really powerful, really powerful. It's going to be about you focusing on you. The inner reality of you, the beautiful you. I'll be sharing more information on that as we journey forward. Okay, this is going to be a 2-part guided meditation that I'm going to take you on. So before you meet your inner child, and you've most likely done this work before, again, it's like peeling layers of the onion. You might have peeled 3 layers of the onion and you still have 100 more to go. Okay, so we're just going to go to the next level. So before you meet your inner child here, I'm going to have you meet your anxiety self. So you're going to witness a powerful transformation in your mind. Again, the divine mind conversation it really allows you to cultivate a positive imagination. Many of us have grown up with negative imaginations, and we do not even realize it. You see, as I mentioned earlier, your subconscious mind thinks in images. Write that down. My subconscious mind thinks in images. So let's take that and unpack it, because the powers that were in this realm, they know this to be true. They know that your subconscious mind thinks in images. Why do you think they control the media? Why do you think they're showcasing horror movies, guns and war, etc.? They want all of those images from the movies to enter into your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind, and they know this, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is true and what is fake. My subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is true and what is fake. All it knows is what you input it with. So whatever you're feeding your subconscious mind, that's what it believes. This is really key moving forward in being sovereign, is to be able to create a beautiful future. We first must create a beautiful mind. Okay. Now, if you were to close your eyes, because some people go, oh, I can't visualize. Yes, you can. Visualize an elephant. See an elephant in your mind's eye. There it is. Boom. You did it. I'm a visualizer. That's what you can say. I'm a visualizer. Everyone has the power of visualizing. Absolutely. Now you can visualize a red rose. See if you can see color. A red rose. Keep it simple. See how powerful your mind is. That is your imagination working for you rather than against you. And that is the only technique that you really need to do in the divine mind conversation, is to know that you are a powerful visualizer. And in the beginning, you might have a little bit of challenges, but I guarantee you, if you replay this video on our YouTube channel and you do this again, you're going to see more on the second time. The third time you do it, you're going to see more. Your mind's going to show you more and more and more and more, because you're saying yes. The subconscious mind's going, whoa, they are ready to learn more about themselves. Yes. Okay. Chris, you're so funny. So then you go delete, 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 and you get back to the elephant. So you're showing your mind that you are the one in power. So I want to make sure that you're not going to be interrupted by anyone. Maybe if you are in a room, you want to close the door. If you have your eye mask or a sleep mask, you can put it on now. Make sure that you're not lying down. Your spine needs to be straight. You're sitting on a chair and your feet on the floor so that you're grounded. It's really important. So just focusing on your breath. So you're breathing in to the count of 5 and you're exhaling to the count of 5. So you're slowing your breath down. And as you're breathing, you're saying, I trust my divine mind. I trust my divine mind. My divine mind is my heart space. My divine mind is my heart space. I'm now activating my creative energy. I'm activating my imagination. I'm ready to see what my mind wants to show me. It's okay if you're not able to visualize, just place your intention on the words being expressed. I want you to see yourself in the room of the divine mind, and that's a white room. It's a round room. And just know that you're safe here. You are now in the center of your heart. You've taken a journey from the mind down into the heart. And I want you to see yourself sitting at a table, just like you're in a coffee shop or something. You've got a table, and then across from you is an empty chair. I want you to visualize the empty chair and just feel the chair that you're sitting in the room of the divine mind. So in your imagination, just feel that chair that you're sitting on and what it's made of. Now I want you to see a door open and in walks your anxiety self. Your anxiety self is going to now sit across from you. So keep your eyes closed. Stay focused. And see your anxiety self sitting across from you. And you can visualize the anxiety self as having a personality. It might first show up as a cartoon. It might just show up as a tornado. And whatever you see is divinely perfect. Now I want you to give your anxiety self a voice, and you're going to ask the question, what message in your mind? All of this is happening just in your mind. So you're going to ask the question, what message do you have for me? And then their answer is going to be the first thoughts that you have after you've asked the question. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes here just to sit and have a conversation with your anxiety self. Your goal here is just to listen and learn so that you're no longer afraid of the energy of anxiety. Ask your anxiety self, what do you need from me? Whatever images you see, they're divinely perfect. Just become aware of how you're feeling as you sit in that chair, what emotions are coming up for you. Just become aware of the energy and the emotions that you're feeling as you are sitting in front of your anxiety self. Are you afraid of that self? Do you feel compassion towards that self? Are you angry with the anxiety self because it's taken control over your life? And if you feel angry, this is where you now get to express how you feel, and your anxiety self is now just going to listen to you. So in your mind, you can vent here, you can swear, you can yell, you can do whatever you want, because anything you do in the divine mind is free of karma. There's no karma, because anything we express in the outer world, there's karma, but in the divine mind room, you can say whatever you want. So express yourself there. Take your time. I'll give you a few moments. Take a deep breath in. You're doing great. Express to your anxiety self all the fears that you have, and just say to your anxiety self, I am so done with you taking over my life. I'm claiming my power back. Claim your power back. Keep going. You're doing great. So now what I want you to do is I want you to see your anxiety self transforming. So if you're a woman, I want you to see your anxiety self transforming into a little girl. And if you're a man, I want you to see your anxiety self transforming into a little boy. And then I want you to see yourself, you're going to stand up from the table, and so is the little boy and little girl. And then you're going to walk over to a comfy couch, and you're going to both sit on the couch. You, as a woman, you're going to go to the couch and you're going to sit with your little girl self. And for all the men, you're going to go to the couch and you're going to sit with your little boy self. And you're going to say, it's so great to see you, in your mind. And just become aware of what your little boy or little girl looks like. What are they wearing? Just observe their energy, how they feel about you being there. And now I want you to say to your little girl or little boy, I love you. I am so sorry I forgot about you. I am so sorry I've been ignoring you. I want you to know that you are so valuable. You are worthy of so much goodness. You are so worthy of love. I am so sorry I've been ignoring you. I'm so sorry you felt so alone growing up. I'm so sorry you felt abandoned growing up. I'm so sorry you felt unloved. I'm here now to remind you that you are loved. And you can now see yourself hugging your little girl or little boy, and you're just hugging, and they may be crying, you may be crying. Just allow for tears to flow. If you're feeling joy, allow for the joy to flow. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, just allow it to flow. And just say, I see you. You no longer need to worry about anything. I've got your back. I love you so much. And now give your little girl or little boy a voice, because they have a message for you. Just be open to hearing their message. And again, their message will be the first thoughts you have after you've asked the question. And so now I want you to see you and your little girl or little boy standing, and you're going to walk over, holding their hand. You're going to open up a door, walking out into a beautiful garden, green grass, blue sky, sun shining. Go and play. Have fun. Go on the swing set. Go swimming with the dolphins. Go laugh. Feel your joy. Have fun. And knowing that you can meet your little girl or little boy in this beautiful garden anytime. And knowing that they are happy. And just let them know that you'll come and visit them very soon. On the count of 3, you can open your eyes. So 1, bring yourself back into your room. 2, bring yourself back into your body. Taking a nice deep breath in. And 3, you can open your eyes. Well done, everyone. So remember, there's no right or wrong way to do these guided visualizations. It's whatever your subconscious mind knows that you're ready to see, to experience, to be. We're all learning here to stop thinking about all that is wrong in life and to really focus on what is right. We need to rise up out of, not all, but rise up out of some of the rabbit holes we've been going down. And we need to start living again. So remember, we only have 3 choices. We can change a situation if we can. And if we can't change it, we need to accept it fully, or we need to remove ourselves from it. So for example, for me, when I discovered the Agenda 2030, I don't know, it was when Rosa was talking about it, I think it was like 2012 or so. It brought up a lot of anxiety for me because I had no idea what she was talking about. Like, is it true? The government's trying to kill us? Really? What? And then it was when 2020 happened and I created Life First Canada. I thought, okay, I am going to not accept it fully. I'm going to change the situation and learn how to remove myself from it. And that's what we're all here doing. And then we accept what we cannot change. And to know that nothing in this world is ever against us. It's the programming within our own psyche that's against us. Change the programming, we change our reality, right? Everything the government's doing is down here. The true creator reality is here. And this is where we're going. So we're spiraling up and rising up, right? To true freedom. And that is our power. How's everyone feeling right now? Relaxed, wonderful. Relaxed is the opposite of anxiety. So become aware right now of the power of your mind. Just say to yourself, I just shifted my anxiety to relaxation, above the line. That's how powerful I am. I just shifted from anxiety to peace, from anxiety to calm. That's the power you have. That's the imagination. And nothing in your external world changed. Become aware of that. Nothing in our external world changed. You shifted your own mindset. Peter says, I'm floating above the line. Yay. That's where we're meant to be living. Excellent. Peace is the acceptance of everything that is. And no true peace will ever occur until you finally clear that list, right? And just let things be as they are. Because your divinity, your divine mind is moving you forward to the new earth automatically. The more you rise up and say yes to loving yourself, the more you let go of old habits, the more you let go of the things that are not good for you, the more you're going to rise up into higher frequency. And anxiety doesn't live there above line, right? Yeah. Excellent. We're letting go of the fight. I was at a potluck last night and a lot of people are saying freedom fighters. We don't need to fight anything anymore. We're going to drop the sword right now. When you drop the sword, you reduce your anxiety massively. We need to be freedom lovers. Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. Together we rise, everyone. Lots of love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
kiddo.
you, Karen.
Outstanding.
God bless you.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you. Love all of you.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you.